All right, guys, let's talk about how to paint your design with symmetry. This first step I'm doing is completely optional, but the reason that I'm doing it is because I want every other section to have a shadow behind my colors. So I'm creating a base coat of gray. And I pre-made a couple of these and put them on the counter. If you want to make yours darker, you could add a little bit of black paint to it. The one thing with this step though is that you probably will need to trace your lines with Sharpie first, or else the gray paint is just going to cover up your lines and you're not going to know where to add color. So again, optional, but in my opinion looks really cool. You can paint every other section with an undertone of gray before you add color. Couple painting tips. I am using a flat brush, as you can see, so that I can lay it on its side and get those nice straight lines. Also, you want to use all of the paint on your paintbrush before you go back for more. And this is going to help you from having big puddles or globs of paint on your artwork. So smooth everything out first and then go back and get a little bit more paint. Okay, now I'm ready to start the required step, which is to add color. In real time, that took me 4 minutes to paint those 6 sections gray. I wanted to tell you that so that you guys know it is important to take your time, but we're also working with the deadline, so we can't always be a perfectionist. I did get out of the lines a couple places, but I know that that's not going to make a big difference in the end. Okay, so now I'm going to start painting one section at a time. I'm not going to start with my gray because that's still wet, but if yours is dry, you can start there. And I've picked out a color combination that I would like for my artwork. And I'm going to keep it the same in each of my 12 sections because my goal is to create symmetry. So it's cool now that I finished one color. You can see the effects of the gray undertone. It's making every other section a little bit darker to add a shadow. I'm going to skip this next white space and work up here because my hope is that this paint will dry by the time I finish all of this yellow, and then I can go back in and fill this in with orange, and my colors won't bleed and blend together. So cool, I'm done with my painting. If I had time, and if you have time before the deadline, I highly recommend doing a second coat of paint. It will look amazing if you do. I do not have time, so I'm going to leave it like this. The last step would be to cut out your circle once your paint is dry. That's why I'm not cutting mine out today. Can't wait to see what you make. Have fun!